Mr. Fuksas, on behalf of Indian Architect and Builder and the AEC World Expo Online, it is our greatest pleasure to interview you for the Master Icon Lecture. We can begin with your day in India. I mean, how did you know, how has this trip gone so far?
But I think that I am interested, of course, in three countries. But these three countries are much more than countries. I like continents. Take Brazil. I was in Brazil in this autumn for a talk about megalopoly with Mr. Lula, Mr. Sarkozy. It was really interesting. And after I was in China, in Shenzhen, to watch my airport under construction. And now I am in India, that I think is a really one of the most exciting countries that we have in the world today.
Is this your first trip to India, and what has been?
No. I think the first time I was here early 70s, of course, to compare Chandigarh with Dhaka. This was typical architecture voyage. This is after many times, after several times.
In India, there are a lot of contemporary architects who follow your work extremely closely. As a magazine, we're aware of that because they're every time we have featured you, and we've got a very good response to your story. What is the kind of when you think of India, are you thinking of setting up practice here? Do you see opportunity here? Is there a possibility of you wanting to work in India?
But I am thinking India like a country that will be in the 30-40 years the biggest for population country in the world. This is something that you have to understand, you have to analyze. I think that an architect cannot be only interested to do architecture or to show himself. I think an architect is someone that is part of a culture, part of economy, part of a discussion. It's a big discussion about what will be, what is really globalization. How we can manage, how we can we work with globalization, with the change of the world. What is interesting in India is the numbers of people. The number of people is something that is not only a demographic question. It's only a question of the balance between the older and the younger. What will be now is a young country with the young people, but in the future, the changing, the consummation system, and so on. There are many things interesting here. I think for me, it's like a workshop in India. A contemporary workshop of the change of the world, the climate, the energy, the connection, the climate, everything. You can concentrate in this country many of our questions.
You mentioned about architecture not being a signature style, which really is, I think, it's really the big question that even as journalists we always we are always contending with. Most architects treat buildings like a canvas, and you've always resisted that. Could you expound on that a little more?
I think there are many questions today. The question about the 10 or 20 architects, prominent architects in the world that are very good, interesting, but there are not only 20 architects in the world. There are, I can tell you, in Europe, in Italy perhaps, we can say there are 130,000 architects, registered architects. Then if you see, it's exactly the numbers of all the architects in Europe. Here you have less than we have in Italy.
Absolutely. 34,000.
And what these people, all together, what is the job, the works the mind of these people, architects, and not only architects, politics, so culture, that in the future. I think that is, if you say, there are always, you can have always Mozart, Haydn. You can have always two very strong artists over all the others. But you need also to have another 100,000 people, architects, that are working. In which way? Which the school. What is today the interest in the school? I can tell you, in 1 year in my office, I can produce one architect without school, or with not very hard school. But school is very interesting today. For do what? For what? How long? Then school, architecture, is really the theme of today.
You know, I was reading about you, and it said that you started your practice even before you graduated, and it's now 3 offices worldwide, and you know, it has been a tremendous journey. You know, when you look back at your work, Mr. Fuksas, I mean, do you really look? I mean, what is it that stays back, or what is it that you would like to communicate?
I want only to communicate the chaos theory. I just did a book that is Chaos Sublime. But I think that the chaos, the theory of chaos, the theory of we cannot have a prevision for nothing. It's impossible to have prevision. Architecture is the best way to understand that we cannot preview anything. This is the first. The second is architecture is passion. You have to keep passion, to give passion to you, to others. And the third is emotion, positive emotion. We have to give positive emotion. The people, the clients, everybody, the cities, they ask to us, not only to do a good building. This can be, many people can do this. A fantastic program with the housing or with a shopping center or a museum. They ask us some emotion. Give us the emotion, the pleasure, daily emotion, not only once. And then this is our job. Our job is to give dreams, to give to other, to help the other to participate to our dreams, not to be alone, distinguished architects against all the world. We are part of art, we are part of the world, we are part of the people. We are not out of the people. I love context. I can say we can change a context, but I love context. I think the context is very important. Also the identity of the people. You have not to be hard, too much hard against the identity. Yes, we are part of globalization. But can you imagine globalization without identity of a people? Identity of people with globalization can be fantastic. We can do globalization and keep the identity of the people, and keep the quality of a context. And also to be against a bad concept, a bad contest too.
You know, in terms of the evolution of your practice, you know, how do you see your projects reflecting all of what you're saying?
My project is very close with in autobiography. It's because it's part of my life. I